Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. It's Maverick here with another episode of Majo no Tabitabi. So, last episode was a great one. I really loved it. It was nice to have a brief respite from all the travels and adventuring and all the, I guess, kind of sad and dark stories that we've been seeing so far to see, of course, Fran Sensei again. And even better, because it is Fran, we get to see another side of Elaina, which we haven't really been shown ever since the first episode, right? Because even though she is a fully grown woman now, and while not quite so an accomplished witch, a full-fledged witch already, right? And she's been traveling for many years already, so she is, she's got her thing down. But in front of your teacher, in front of your sensei, of course, you're always going to be the student. So I love that we get a little bit more of the vulnerable side, if you will, of Elaina. And of course, we got a lot of little hints as to the underlying backstory or the background to this entire series as well. Not exactly important, but fun nonetheless. However, all things must come to an end, and Elaina is now traveling once again, which, considering that we've just had our brief little respite here, perhaps we're gonna get back to the nitty-gritty stuff, right? Well, in any case, let's jump into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I wonder if she's ever gonna write home. Wait. A country with no liars. That's not exactly. You guys look weird as well. And that's a weird ass sword. I don't think this is exactly a good idea though. Being honest all the time. I feel like that's the answer she would have given even without this weird magic spell. Anyways, one thing I was about to comment on was at the beginning with the ships, the boats that they had instead. Those boats seem to be of an older technology than everything that we've been seeing so far. I mean, I guess what works, right? It's just kind of piqued my interest a little bit, because most of this stuff is more, I guess, Renaissance era. No, not even that. Like, if we look at here, there's lamps and whatnot, right? So maybe somewhat around the industrial revolution. That's also a little bit too far. Let's say 1600s to 1700s, right? But that boat we just saw there was definitely even further past. Well, actually, now that I think about it, we've had a vast spread of technological progress, haven't we? I think it's not exactly consistent across the entire world, which I guess kind of makes sense. There are many, many countries, apparently. Alright, let's go with that. The land of truth tellers. Well, I'll try talking to someone, Elaina. I mean, I guess you can't really call her a narcissist if it's the truth, right? Take that, all you doubters. Although that's kind of interesting though. That's sort of like a philosophical question. Like if somebody doesn't consider, I guess it's the truth relative to how she herself perceives it. Like if someone else does not view her as beautiful, that would almost seem like a lie, but it doesn't matter because her definition of beauty, she fits her own definition of beauty, right? That's sort of like an interesting philosophical question. I mean, wouldn't that be obvious? I would presume you want to maintain as little contact with others as possible. That's kind of funny. I think I'm gonna be able to write it down. Oh wait, I have a pure heart. Oh, isn't this is it Moon? Oh no. Okay, I think that's quite enough. Say something, Elaina. Oh. Get married? Oh, I thought she was from the United Magic Association. The Gargoyle? Well, obviously it was inspired by you. Although, I think... You could have done something like, I don't know, Stardust? Right? The Stardust Wish? Ew, that'd be pretty nice. Wait, but then doesn't her brooch isn't her brooch still shaped like a star? Why do you already have... Let me guess, her request is to... That's not... Her backstory? Quick sandwich. Oh, you're in love with me? Damn. This is... I can't believe that, like, any sort of court retainer which would be able to create something like this. Ah, here we go. Even I mean, I agree. What? You can't use... Oh. Because you poured in all your magic. Oh, really? Yeah, she can't stay here for a month either. Hmm. How is... Well, that's certainly an easy workaround. Oh, speak of the devil. Wait, is Saya? I mean, is Elaina flat-chested? I haven't really... I haven't really noticed that. Although, I gotta say, there's another interesting thing about all this, and that is the United Magic Association can actually... can actually, you know, interfere with a country's internal matters. Yeah, completely true. Okay. Hmm? Oh. Hammer time! Oh, and there goes her magic. Well, glad you got your voice back. What? Is this supposed to be a very touching moment or something? I don't... Well, everybody's certainly enthusiastic and happy. Wait, is Saya going to continue adventuring with Elaina? Approve. So that's why you're in debt? Wow. I mean, Elaina certainly is very how should I put it? Forgiving her? No, that's not the correct word. Accepting of her, let's say. Okay, that was an interesting episode. I'll see you guys later. Okay, so we got another old acquaintance in this episode in the form of Saya. Now granted, I will admit I wasn't as thrilled with this as I was with Friend because, well, I've always had a little bit of issue with the second episode and how, the character of Saya came out overall and, what exactly is making Elaina, give more bias to her, give more thought to her than all the other kind of stuff, right? Although I guess she did say that she feels a little bit more accepting of Saya because she's also a witch working towards a striving witch working towards her goals and whatnot. But still, in any case, I will admit the reunion scene was kind of funny though, with a very low budget PowerPoint slide-esque kind of meeting there with Elaina keeping the same poker face while Saya was having all these different reactions. I will admit that was funny in its own way. Yeah, I mean, there's not really that much else to say about that. Obviously, Saya is infatuated with Elaina, and well, Elaina isn't exactly reciprocating, right? But she still considers her a friend and is willing to, indulge in some of her fantasies, I guess you could say. In any case, they aren't going to travel together, which is, I guess, a good thing because, I'm okay with it in moderate, in a moderate quantity, but I feel like if the two did travel together, some of the gags would probably run a little bit old there. So that is that. And, I guess not really that much else to add about that part, nor the truth-telling part, because I completely agree with what Elaina said to the king there. I do feel that in modern society, or indeed in society as a whole, you do need to tell a lie here and there in order to lubricate things, to keep things smooth. It's not exactly good being, 100% the truth 100% of the time, right? We all tell little lies, exaggerate a little, or hide a little bit of stuff, all the time, right? It's just human nature, and you don't need to be completely on 100% all the time, right? So I totally agree with that, and it's probably for the best that the sword was destroyed and everything reverted back to normal. With that being said, though, I do have... Okay, so before we get into that, another thing I would like to talk about in regards to the entire truth matter is something I mentioned during the episode as well, which is the what exactly is the truth, right? Because it seems that, to me, I do believe that what it's working on is your own perceived truth. So if you truly believe in something, let's say, if you truly believe that the moon is made out of cheese, and then you write that down or you say that out loud, it's not going to tell you as a false, right? You can't exactly use it. I mean, that would make sense, right? Because you can't use it and then you can ask a question like, I don't know, are there aliens or is there a god or whatnot, and then you use that in order to sort of answer these yes/no questions, right? So it's only a perceived truth. If you truly believe in that, then it will count as the truth to you. And I do feel that we seeing Elaina, with the scenes with her asking herself, her trying to say out loud that I'm beautiful, or saying out loud that she has a pure heart and a pure personality and whatnot. I do think that was a little bit. That was a little bit on purpose to let us also get the view of, hey, it might also be sort of reversed. She's so nostalgic that she actually truly believes in these kinds of things, right? So, I mean, I do find that kind of funny overall, and I do feel like that's maybe something else that we can glean from this episode, because knowing how exactly Elaina views herself, right, and knowing her own belief in herself really also speaks volumes to her own character and her personality as well. So I do think that that's something valuable that we took out of this episode. Now, let's move on to the other part, though, which is, I guess it's probably not going to be a major thing in this series, but I do have a lot of questions about it, right? And that is Saya and Elaina, and of course the other former court witch, just willy-nilly going into the palace, invading, trespassing, whatever you want to call it, and even fighting and destroying property, right? Because it seems to me that the witches in this world certainly operate on a much different jurisdiction than everyone else. You could even say that, they're not going to be able to just do whatever they want, obviously, but they have power. And, think about it like this. Like, this is literally, you going up to a head of a country, going to like a president somewhere or a prime minister somewhere and saying, okay, let me take away your cane, let me take away your umbrella, let me take away your briefcase or whatever it is that person has, right? And that. And even, breaking in, and sure, they didn't kill anyone, but still, having all this, what if they did want to kill the king, though, right? It seems that they definitely have no real regard for normal rules and regulations at all. And even though we've always been talking about that to Elaina, how she always sort of tiptoeing the line, which I can't really blame her and whatnot, but it seems that even the Magic Association here, or indeed anyone who is a high practitioner of magic, seems to have a little bit more leeway, right? You definitely still get a power is power is power. Your raw power is your power. That kind of feeling to all of this, because once you have the power, nobody can actually touch you. So it goes like that. Because I'm just thinking, typically this would. Like, are the kings and rulers of this world okay with this? Now, granted, the sort of country that they're mentioning in this world really seem to me more like city-states, right? They rule a city, and then maybe it's surrounding territory and whatnot, but that's about it. It's not really like a country in a modern sense where, at least most countries have a sizable area that they govern, right? This seems more to me like, like classical city-states and whatnot. But still, they are a sovereign power, right? They are a sovereign state, and you can't just go into there and just do whatever the hell you want with no repercussions or no form of negotiations or any official sort of negotiation channels, right? And not to mention, this wasn't even someone who was sent by another a country or whatnot. It was literally just an association, right? So you gotta think, like, you gotta feel like, is this actually the norm for this world? Because if it is, then that really also, it gets you thinking about the other things, like how witches are literally maybe a tier above everyone else in terms of their status and whatnot, and it's really not something to, it's not exactly something that we can comprehend using our normal world, real world values or social structure or whatnot. So that's that, and also, the power of these witches and mages. Now, I'm almost like kind of surprised that that there hasn't been a country that's literally like recruiting tons, thousands, and even tens of thousands of witches, and then just steamrolling over every single other nation or country in this world. Just by having that amount of magical power behind them, right? Because it seems that the witches and mages of this world can do some pretty damn incredible things, right? I would even go as far to say that probably a country that has a witch as its court witch or something, or versus one that has not, well, the one that has a witch is probably going to win every single time because they're just that powerful. I don't know. I just find it interesting to sort of look at the sort of meta dynamic of this world, how witches relate to everything, and especially some things like this where the association, they didn't even go for official channels or anything, right? There was no like, okay, I'm here on behalf of the association or whatnot, we're going to investigate the situation. No, they just went there and did whatever the hell they want and then left. So, that's definitely something, right? It's almost like, it's almost like in the medieval times or whatnot, the Catholic Church, right? And, having the Pope say, okay, I'm going to I'm going to designate some, like, he doesn't have any real power, but the implied power there allows him to basically influence and control all the other European countries as well. And I feel like this is just sort of like that situation, but even strengthened many, many times more to the point where you almost got to feel like, what if somebody has some ulterior motives climbed into a high rank within one of these mages association or magic associations or whatnot? I do think that this would be a real problem, right? But then again, I don't know if this anime or this work is going to address these kinds of problems. It might not be, the focal point of the offer, right? Which is, I guess, okay. But it's just some food for thought, I guess you could say. Anyways, that's it for episode 6 of Majo no Tabitabi. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.